world is veiled in darkness. The wind stops, the sea is wild, and the earth begins to rot. The people wait, their only hope, a prophecy. When the world is in darkness, 4 warriors will come. After a long journey, 4 young warriors arrive, each holding an orb. Welcome everyone to Let's Play Final Fantasy I with Soldier Hawk. I'm super excited to share this game with you. This is not the very first Nintendo game I ever played, but certainly my favorite, and the very first RPG I think I ever played. Certainly the first RPG on the NES. So, let's get started. We have to pick our party. This is usually the hardest part of the game, picking a party and a name. We're gonna go ahead and name the fighter after me, Hawk, because the fighter, while not a paladin, spoiler alert, he becomes a paladin later on. We're also going to use a black belt, or a monk in the original game, or in the Japanese version. We're going to call him Jet, after Jet Li, who's my favorite martial artist. I think we're going to do 3-letter Jet, though. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it. So, we could do Jet L for Jet Li, but I think I just like Jet. So we're going to do a fighter, black belt, white mage, white mage, black mage. We could do and the white mage is going to be named Gyre, after my, one of my favorite Twitch streamers who always plays the original Final Fantasy. And this guy is going to be named Toth, after the black mage in the Final Fantasy strategy guide that got me through this game when I was a kid. So this is kind of the beginner's party. My favorite party is actually Fighter, Thief, Black Belt, Red Mage, but this is the very first party I ever played through the game with. So this is how we're going to start. And so we are unceremoniously dumped out here in front of a castle and a town with no spells, no weapons, and no armor. But we do have 400 gold. So let's go spend that gold so that we are no longer naked. Oops. And apparently we're in Conaria, the Dream City. And good old Aralon is still here dancing. Ah, nice face wash in the fountain. Unfortunately, it's a terrible fountain because your face stays dirty no matter how many times you wash it. I don't know what they put in their water in Canaria, but apparently it doesn't clean your face. So, 400 gold is enough to outfit your party with just about everything you would need in the beginning. So we're gonna go ahead and buy some weapons here. Get some nunchucks. Eventually, black belts don't use weapons at all, but in the beginning, it's good to give him some nunchucks. And we'll give him a little knife. And we'll grab some armor. Wooden armor for Jet. And some cloth armor for the mages. This is actually a pretty expensive party to outfit. Although it's balanced out, really. So you have to buy a lot of spells, but less weapons and armor. Don't ask me how many times as a kid I forgot to actually equip this crap before going out to fight. And status screen, good to keep an eye out. And let's go check out this well over here. It looks like it might be significant. But it's actually not. Just an ordinary well. I always thought that was fun. Ooh. Orbs, huh? Like those ones in the upper left there. All dark. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, so there's a princess that needs saving. But But more important than that right now is magic spells. Oh no, not you. There we go. Definitely need to buy some cure. And we've got enough for one spell for a black mage. Good old toss, and we'll buy fire. This guy looks like he might know something. Lucan and Crescent Lake. Never heard of it. Oh, damn it. Oh, so there was a prophecy about us, and Lucan's name comes up again. And there's still a princess that needs saving. You're still a dancer. See what this guy has to say. So there's a city to the east, Provoca. Good to know. Now that we're not naked, let's go check out the castle. Nope, definitely not. She looks important. I'm worried about her sister. Maybe she's a princess, and the missing princess is her sister. Nope, still not the Light Warriors. Definitely not. Please to save the princess. I think we're going to be saving a princess, guys. And up here... Oh, how weird. This guy, in the original NES version, that guy was invisible. That's what I came here to show you, actually. Was that scholar was invisible, but you could still go up and find him and talk to him. That must be fixed in this ROM. Oh, that's kind of too bad. I always liked the invisible guy. Alright, let's go see what these sages up here have to say. They look like they might know things. So an elf prince and a mystic key. Interesting. I think he says the same thing. Yeah, okay. And I'd like to go through that door. But the mystic key again. Looks like that's something we'll need to find at some point. So I want to see what's in there. Well, now that that's done, let's head up to the second floor. See what's up here. Alright, I'm the Light Warriors. So Lucan's prophecy again. And it seems like Garland, who used to be a good knight, is the one who actually kidnapped the princess. Interesting. What caused him to go bad? That's the last piece of information we need. If we want Garland and the princess, we need to go northwest. Which we're going to do now. Now, usually you don't face Garland till level 2 or 3, and I always like to over-level, so I usually go take him out at level 3. But we are going to go into the temple where he is to go raid some treasure chests first. What we'll do is we'll grab the treasure, come back here, save, level up to 3, and then head up there once we've got our spells and our level filled out. First, let's take a quick look at the battle system. So this is pretty standard turn-based JRPG stuff. The trick to this particular system, aside from bugs and a lot of spells and weapons that make them not as useful as they should be, the real trick with this is that you can see how I'm spacing out my attacks and everyone's kind of attacking a different critter. And the reason for that is, if a bad guy is defeated, but somebody else is going to attack him, that person's attack doesn't go to another enemy. The attack just gets wasted. So you can't just have everyone attack one thing, or you're going to waste a ton of attacks. So usually, at least usually the way I handle it, is the fighter attacks something on his own, Usually the black belt attacks something on their own, and then the two mages attack together because they're the weakest. Obviously that's a little different if you're using magic spells or something that's going to do a lot of damage, but yeah, see, you can see there, the white mage killed him, so when the black mage attacked, when Toth attacked, it was ineffective. So you have to be really, really careful about how you break up your attacks when you're looking at multiple bad guys. The other thing about this game is the only place you can save is in inns, and that costs money. So much grief and so much progress lost as a kid when parents would make you turn off that Nintendo right now when you either didn't have enough money or weren't near an inn. Oh, the pain. The pain of being 7. Alright, so right now we're going to head up to the what's called the Temple of Fiends, which is where Garland is. We're going to raid those treasure chests. We're going to come back down here after that, save. We're going to grind up to level 3 and get enough gold for both of our mages to have their spell slots filled out. And once that's done, we'll head back up. I think I'm going to edit out the grinding because it's boring and I probably don't have enough interesting things to say to keep it interesting for you guys. And this is actually not a particularly long grind. The really long grind comes in Elfland later on. Oh god, the ogre grind there to save up enough money to outfit your party for the Marsh Cave is just ugly as hell. I might show you guys a taste of that grind just so you can see how bad it is, but there's no reason not to edit out killing a bunch of imps here. It's just not interesting. Exploring the temple and grabbing the treasure chest is, though, so we'll go ahead and do that. Well, I guess interesting is relative. I know this game isn't Half-Life or Portal, but man, this is the game I probably have the most hours of my life on, just from all the time that I played it as a kid. In fact, one of my best friend, when I was 10 or 11, and I, that was back in the day where, oh crap, this is bad. We don't want to be poisoned. I don't have any pure potions. Run away! Okay, good job, Hawk. My best friend and I, that was back in the days of where you would go out, at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and you'd come back when the streetlights are on, And so we used to spend the whole day not playing Final Fantasy the video game, but we would go out and actually pretend to be the characters from Final Fantasy, run around in the park pretending to fight Garland and save Princess Sarah, and oh, those were the days, man. I miss that. And for the record, there are 2 other treasure rooms in the other corners of the temple, but those doors are locked also by the Mystic Key. I'd show it to you, but I'm not sure a level 1 party is strong enough to get all the way through the temple without getting seriously hurt or dying, and I don't really want to deal with that. Just take my word, the doors are locked by the key. We'll be back here though. Once we have the key, we'll be back here to open them up and see what's in there. It's got some good stuff. And by then, we won't have to care very much about the dinky little monsters in here. Hey, level 2, very nice. Another semi-nasty thing about this, not nasty, but your hit points do not get refilled when you level up, so that level up doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to us right now until we go back and save. I think we can take this creep. Use a little fire just to make sure. They're weak to fire, creeps. Ooh. Nasty hit. But this should do it. Yeah. Nicely done, Toth. Good job. Alright. Let's heal him up. And we'll go ahead and get out of here, head back to Corneria and save, and then we'll do the level 3 and spell money grind. Which you guys get to skip, so no worries. We just kill everything we run into on the way down there, because every battle we get into now is a battle we don't have to do later. So getting level 2 is pretty fast. And the difference between 2 and 3 with the enemies here is pretty big, because I think it's over 100 experience points to go from 2 to 3. And these packs only give like 9 to 15 XP a pop, so it takes a good while. In the big scheme of things, it's not bad. It's not nearly as bad as the Elfland grind. But it still takes, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour of imp killing. Since we have enough money for both an inn stay and a spell, though, we're going to go ahead and buy Gyre, our white mage's next spell, which is Harm. Now, Harm might sound like kind of an odd spell for a cleric-y healing white mage to have, but what it actually is, although it's called Harm in this version, what it actually is holy. It's holy magic. So what it does is it specifically affects undead, quite effectively too. It's a very, very effective spell against undead guys. A very, very powerful tool. And the Temple of Fiends has quite a few undead in them. We probably won't run into them on the short walk to Garland's room, but, you know, better safe than sorry. So, we are going to have a short break here. You guys won't notice it, but I'm going to cut and do the grind for level 3 in the spells, and so I will see you guys on the other side of that. Welcome back, everyone. The imp grind is done. We are now level 3, and we have almost, okay, not almost 500 gold. We've got 450 gold to our name. So that's plenty to fill out the rest of our spells, the rest of our level 1 spell slots. And level 3 is plenty to deal with Garland. So let's buy our last white magic spell. We're going to buy Ruse, which is a great spell for increasing your dodge. Very handy for a mage, our white mage to have. And for our black mage, for Toth, we're definitely going to go lightning. And we're also going to buy Sleep. Not only because Lock is a bugged spell, which it is. Lock is supposed to lower an enemy's evasion, I believe. It locks you on your target. But what it actually does the opposite. It increases the enemy's evasion. So it's an actively harmful spell. That and Sleep is actually more useful than Lock anyway, I think, because it hits all enemies, and it's especially useful against, it's actually useful against Garland, and it's useful against the pirates we're going to fight next, in the next town. Plus, Sleep just is good at getting you out of jams, if you need some time to run away, or, anything like that. Sleep is just a good overall spell. It's nice because it hits all the enemies. So if you get a screen full of enemies that are vulnerable to it, it can really help. And fire and lightning, of course, are just standard, great against bad guys that have those elemental weaknesses. Because elemental weaknesses with spells works in this game. So like if you hit a sea monster with a lightning spell, that works. The elemental weaknesses with weapons, so like there's a weapon called the Coral Sword that's supposed to do extra damage against sea monsters. The weapon vulnerabilities do not work, which is both good and bad because it means that they don't do extra damage against the monsters they're supposed to be strong against. The flip side of that is that those weapons don't do less damage against monsters that are strong against that element, so you can use the fire sword against a fire elemental with no penalty. So, you know, pluses and minuses to that particular bug. It really is kind of fun to look back on this game. You know, of course, as a kid, I didn't know any of that and just blindly played through the game as best I could. And now all the little bugs like that speedrunners like Gyre use, you know, to complete this game in, you know, under 4 hours. All those little bugs and exploits are a huge part of the charm of the game. Looking back on it, you know, 20 years later. Hey, it's Garland and the Princess. Let's get him! Of course, the famous threat to knock us all down. I'll knock your mom down. He's actually one of my favorite sprites in the game. Well, my favorite enemy sprites, anyway. Just the pose with the ready to do the backhand, which fits so well with a knock you down, and the horns on the armor. Just looks awesome. He's a really cool first boss. Yeah, and you can see the sleep worked. He is, I think he's actually vulnerable to it. Nice work. Excellent. Good job, boys and girl. Actually, I don't know if the white mage is a boy or a girl. You can talk to the bats. They do tell you key. At least for now. Yes, I am the Light Warriors, and you're welcome. One of the few kind moments in the game where you get warped back to the king. Alright, a bridge. That's gonna come in handy. And a lute. Ended down for 2,000 years. Incidentally, the same amount of times the orbs have been dark. Dude, I haven't even left yet. She can't worry about me yet. Beautiful music fills the air. So we've got a lute. And now everybody's got slightly different things to say. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. Good job. The honor guards sure are proud. You're welcome, darling. Queen is also grateful. I think the scholar has something new to say too. So the lute has a use beyond making pretty music. That is good to know. For now, we're gonna head out of the castle and save, and head northeast. Well, mostly east. Just a little bit north. Just north enough to get to the next continent. Those guys say the same thing. Yep, still a useless fountain. Won't clean my face. Working on it. Now this guy, he doesn't say anything new, but it's worth remembering, because that's where we're headed next. We are headed east to Provoca. But before we get there, we need to cross this newly minted bridge and enjoy the only cutscene in the game. And so their journey begins. I love this. What awaits the four, they do not know. each holding an orb that 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey. Return the light of peace to our world. Big salute to all of these folks. Made one hell of a game. Alright. East, young warriors, east. And try not to get eaten by slightly harder monsters. Not that wolves are that bad, really. They're not. But this can be a slightly dangerous hike depending on what monsters you run into. I don't think I want to waste a fire charge here. I think we should be able to take him down. Unless our fighter misses. Hawk, why do you do these things to me? Creeps can hit pretty hard, and yeah, we need to get rid of him. Once Hawk hits level 5, things will start getting better, because that's when, I think it's level 5 where our fighter starts getting 2 hits, which is a big up in DPS. For now, we're just going to have to be a little careful and make judicious use of our spells. Especially when they hit anyone besides the fighter, creeps can hurt at this level. Wooden and cloth armor doesn't do a whole hell of a lot against them. I think that'll be good enough to get us to provoke it, because it's just down here. Let's go see what's what in this place. Help. What they need help with. With pirates. Thank you, Blue Mohawk guy. Oddly empty town. Nobody else around, really. Hey, that looks like a pirate. Let's go see if there's anything else around first. Nope. Let's go confront him. Let's get healed up just in case. Like the pirate. Uh-oh. This could be bad. Nah, spoiler alert. It's not. This is not a terribly difficult battle. Especially since these guys are vulnerable to sleep. They also have really low HP. And we don't have any more spell charges for Toph, but I think we'll be alright. This should be fine. I'm a sucker for this battle music. Might only be MIDI, but I love it. Very nice. Oh, we sailing now, boys. We got a ship. and he's not gonna bug anyone anymore. So now all the people have come out of their houses, and we can talk to them. More talk about the elves across the sea. Good thing we have a ship now. Now, I have to remember, so we need enough money to save. The armor that I want to buy, there's iron armor for sale for Hawk in there that costs 800 gold. But that's not going to leave us with enough. I wonder how we'll get to the north. That won't leave us with enough to save. Melmon's to the west. However, there is a sword in here that's going to be really useful for Hawk. The short sword. Very nice. We'll equip this, sell off our rapier. And I take it back. I think this will give us enough to buy, not the iron armor yet, but we can buy some, a little bit of extra protection for the rest of our group. So I think they sell, I can't remember if it's caps or gloves here, but it'll give our mages and black belt a little extra protection, which is good. Yeah, see, there's that iron armor. We'll save up for that, so we need to grind levels anyway. I don't think you can equip the shield and gloves at the same time, so I'm not going to get one for Hawk. We're not get a pair of gloves for Hawk yet. Let me make sure I'm right about that. Oh, you can, so I need one more pair of gloves. Okay. No problem. Oh! Crap. I forgot. The inn here is 50, so I gotta go out and do one battle to be able to save. Which is not ideal since I've walked all the way here and killed the pirates without saving, but this is how Nintendo hard goes, man. Really easy to lose all your progress real fast. But, I mean, we're level 3, there's nothing around here. Well, it's kind of rough not having any spell charges, but we should be able to take one fight with. Yeah, we can get 2 ogres. We do have one cure spell, so in case of a nasty critical or something, we should be okay. So we'll get through this fight, and then we're gonna call it for this episode. Because, I forget how much experience they give, but I know that 2 ogres give you, I think they give you 390 gold, I think. Or is it 360? I can't remember. It's either 390 or 360. Either way, it's a good chunk of change, and it'll be more than enough to stay at the end. There we are. Just gotta take down this guy. Hopefully we get a couple of good lucky hits. Toss, you're useless. When it comes to hitting things with a knife, anyway. Ooh. He should almost be dead, so let's cure him just to be sure. Ooh. Nice dodge. There we are. Excellent. 390. Perfect. Alright, so now we are going to go save. We've got 400 gold. when we come back, I'm gonna do the grind for, to get everything I need here, and then I will probably show you guys going to Elfland, exploring Elfland, and then I'll cut out the enormous Elfland grind. I might show you guys a little bit, just for humor's sake, but yeah. I really appreciate you guys sharing this game with me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.